This is Salaam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim Community Radio. Broadcasting on 1.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salaam Radio. This is Salaam Sports World Cup special. And exactly the same thing that happened yesterday happened again today. Why do I have to press that stop button twice? Okay, remind me to press that stop button twice next time. I am live on air with Sadat, Akram. Sadat, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Oh my God, you sound like an Arab commentator. Nice to have you live. We should have Rashid and Bidan on the phones. Bidan, are you there?
I am there. The line's a bit bad, though. You keep on it keeps on fluctuating, but I think I can make out.
I think Ali does that on purpose.
Do you reckon Ali does that on purpose? Ali probably does that on purpose because he doesn't want us to go out on the airwaves like we should. But yeah, welcome. We've got 4 games that we're going to cover today. I've also got my World Cup Panini stickers, which we're going to do another quiz. I tell you what, Rashid's good at this quiz, isn't he? He is. Yeah. I hope he's calling in soon because he was supposed to be calling in. But yeah, we'll do that in a little while. But today we had Argentina versus Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland, Denmark, Tunisia, and France, Australia. Bidan, how many of those games did you watch?
So I had the Argentina one on in the office. I had the Denmark one. I watched half of it in the office. I watched a little bit of the Poland game. I saw the penalty miss, and then I watched the second half of Australia versus France.
Excellent. Do you reckon it was a penalty save or a penalty miss? I mean, I know technically it was a save. It was on
credit
target.
to the keeper. He got low down, but it wasn't right in the corner.
It wasn't a Gareth Bale penalty, was it?
Well, he sent it in the wrong way. Bale's wasn't right in the corner. The keeper went the right way.
Yeah, but obviously the big story today, Saudi Arabia versus Argentina.
I thought you were going to say Ronaldo leaving United.
No, we'll talk about that. But first,
and the Glazers wanting to sell as well.
In case you missed the commentary. I want a running translation to that.
Allah.
God, right?
Please forgive us. Sorry to give him everything. He's not worthy.
Absolutely no idea what that guy is saying. But oh my gosh, like he's gone absolutely mad.
He's still going on.
Yeah, I'm still on. Faisal Mahmood said he sounds really happy. Absolutely he does. And we've seen Arab commentary for goals like in La Liga, like when Messi scores, you know, Ankara Messi. But obviously for Saudi Arabia to score against Argentina, one of the favourites for the actual World Cup.
Well, yeah, and that's the first defeat in how many games now?
I don't know, but they've gone so long without
30
one.
games, I think, or they have been without losing Argentina or something like that.
But the game itself, so did you say you watched the second half of the game?
I watched the whole of Argentina versus Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so the first half was pretty much offside, wasn't it? Like Argentina pretty much dominated, but just couldn't quite get that breakthrough beyond obviously the penalty.
Yeah. I mean, look, you thought that, the Argentina had a lot of the first half, a lot of it, and you just thought, it was only 1-0 after about like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you just thought, right, well, they're going to have to fill their boots in the second half, but little did we know what was to come in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's the 2 shots they had, isn't it? And until 2 goals.
Yeah, literally the first 2 shots on target were. I think they had one other shot on target. They might have had 3 in total.
Or that was the build up to the second goal, wasn't it? The shot that got saved.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry, yeah, that was the 3 shots.
I'll tell you what, right? That's the second goal. If it hadn't have touched the defender after he pulled it down, right?
Yeah,
I'd have called it one of the best all-time World Cup goals because the way he pulled it out the air and then did that pirouette.
Yeah.
Right, it did touch the defender though before he did the pirouette, so that it loses a lot of points from it there. But it would have been as good as, let's say, Bergkamp's goal against Argentina,
It was. He genuinely plucked it out the air, killed
Do
it, didn't he?
you think the keeper went with the wrong hand though? Because there was like a lot of talk about the keeper should have went with his left hand rather than his right hand.
Yeah, hindsight and all that. I mean, it was in the corner. He did get a full stretch on it, and he did get fingertips on it. But yeah, maybe other hand if his body shape was a little bit different. Rashid, I think you're on air. Rashid, are you there?
Yeah, I'm with you. So.
Oh man, you missed the World Cup commentary that I played for you, the Arabic commentary. But I'm sure you remember it off by heart. Do you want to give it a go?
It's all right. I mean, he goes Allah, 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 Allah quite a few times.
Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. Right, good to have you with us, Rashid. We're going to do what I've been doing. Well, I say I've been doing literally yesterday. Ali, come in here, mate. I've got these cards for you to open up. He's coming. Yeah, he's coming reluctantly.
Ali gave his prediction of who would win the World Cup.
Ali gave
his drive
on his drive into
into
the studio.
Yeah, into the studio.
Who was Ali's
Ali,
prediction?
who were you predicting? Can I mention it?
You might as well just tell me.
He said Paris. He's been saying, "I'll give you Mackies. Don't tell anybody. I'll give you Mackies."
He doesn't talk in that accent. But no, France are looking very, very strong. So that's the game that's currently ongoing. Is it full time now, Bidan?
France is looking superb.
Yeah, 4-1 to France.
Yeah, I mean,
they were all over Australia. Obviously, you can't. Well, having said that, look, I was going to say it's only Australia, but then again, I don't think any of the big Europe, other than England and now France, a lot of the big so-called big boys have not done what has been expected of them. So I think,
Australia did take the lead.
They took the lead and they hit a rasping shot that just went wide. But I was going to just challenge you on that, Bidan. We've had England, who we'd classify as the big boys, Holland, who started a bit against Senegal, and Argentina, who obviously lost. So we've basically only had So maybe Argentina and Holland have struggled a bit. England have done well, and France have done well. So 2 out of 4, really.
Denmark should have won. Well, you'd expect Denmark to have won today. They didn't. Like, Denmark were coming in on a really good streak, and obviously Argentina was a huge shock. So I think that it's not, the big boys might not have it all their way, but it's the opening games, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and so that, I mean, with the World Cup, like, teams are there on merit, right? They've had their own grueling challenge of qualifying, and I know there's always whipping boys, but
Argentina lost to Cameroon, remember, in the first game,
1990,
and got to the final.
Yeah.
So I mean, every game, I suppose, for Argentina is now as a final, isn't it? Because they have to win all.
2010 and 1-0 to Switzerland in the opening game, and then went on to win the tournament. That's true.
Yeah.
But it was just the way Argentina lost. It was, and then again, they lost to Saudi Arabia. Come on, I mean, it's Saudi.
What's wrong with Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia is strong. Saudi Arabia,
such a high line they played. It was so attacking.
So I'm just going to say something about Saudi Arabia. So I looked up, and you see it on the group earlier. I was looking up to see how many games they'd won, right?
That didn't take long, did it?
It didn't take long, but they'd won like 4 games. That was their 4th win in the World Cup finals. But they've qualified like four tournaments since 1994, and Wales. This is the first tournament they've qualified for since 64. No, 64 years.
64.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I don't know how many.
It's 1958.
Yeah, 64 years then.
For example, I mean, how many of Saudi players actually play in Europe? Forget the top 5 leagues, right? But they just even play in Europe.
Well, I might do after this tournament.
One of them was in the Hungarian league for Ferencváros, right? The guy that was running up and down he was just like absolutely, he was just a stalwart today in midfield. Forgotten the guy's name because I didn't know in the first place.
Okay, so one guy whose name you will know is Salim Al-Dosari, right? The scorer of the winning goal. Just describe to me, Rashid, what his life is going to look like when he goes back to Saudi Arabia.
Well, he's going to be riding down the street like a prince on a camel, and he's going to have 4 weddings ready and available for him.
He's going to get a gold-plated Rolls Royce. He's going to get a house, isn't he? He's going to get, I don't know, he's probably going to get like hundreds of acres of land.
They might even buy him a club for him.
They might even, it's
Chelsea or something.
Because who was it? Was it?
I think all the side stereotypes aside, he's a national hero now, isn't he?
No, not even the stereotypes. I think if you remember Oweran, was it Oweran scored that wonder goal?
Oh,
in-
the run from the halfway line. or
Yeah,
something.
he kind of
carried the
like
ball.
he bobbled off a few players, but he did. He ran about 60 yards and scored. And didn't he get I'm sure he got like 3 or 4 Rolls Royces, and he got a house.
But I think the big difference is, I mean, that was Belgium, right? But this is against Argentina.
Exactly.
And then not only just a favourite, but it's got Messi's Argentina. And that's huge. And nobody gave him a chance. And according to all the statistics, and the statisticians have gone out and done all of this research, and they've come out and said this is the biggest victory for a minnow in a World Cup, because he was like Brazil, Saudi will give it less than an 8% chance of winning, and they went a goal down.
And when they went a goal down, I actually looked on online. I followed it a bit online, and they were down at 3% win probability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's and then they've come back from that, turned up winning 2-1.
Well, before they were a goal down, they're only at 5%.
Right, time for a quiz. I'm going to go one each for each player. I'm going to start with you, Sadat. Granit Xhaka.
Switzerland.
Correct. Rashid. Romain Saiss.
Sorry, what's his name?
Romain Saiss.
Romain Saiss. Morocco.
Correct.
Wow.
Very impressive. Bidan, this guy's name is Daniel Kofi Kiere. If you get this, I'll be well impressed.
What's his last name?
Daniel Kofi Kiere.
Oh, goodness.
Got to be one of the African teams.
Yes.
Senegal.
Ghana.
Ah,
That was a guess. I was like, he's like,
said Senegal, didn't he? No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
All right, here's one for you then.
No, that's it.
Leandro Paredes.
Oh,
That's an easy one.
Paredes.
Yeah, Paredes, whatever.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's easy, see?
Right, who is it then? It's that so easy?
Go on then, Bidan, who is it?
Argentina.
There you go, Argentina. Correct.
Paredes.
This one for you, Rashid. Jonathan Williams.
I know that.
Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, anyone Williams is Wales. Pretty much, right?
I don't think you can say that.
Could have been Canada.
Yeah, I suppose. Bidan, Jae Sung Lee.
South Korea.
Correct.
Oh, the women of Japan.
Lee is going to be South Korea. Well, it could be
Easy. Sadat, Joel Campbell. You're
England.
never going to get this. Joel Campbell.
Joel Campbell, England.
Who's Joel Campbell
I don't
playing for
know,
England?
no.
How could
Joel
you?
Campbell.
Why would you say Joel Campbell's England?
Sol Campbell just came straight to my head.
Okay, bonus point, Rashid Bidzi, if you can get it. Joel Campbell.
Canada?
Sorry? No, it was Costa
It's either
Rica.
America or Canada, maybe.
It's
I don't know.
Costa Rica. Costa Rica. Open up to
You
the...
know what? Did he play for Arsenal, Joel Campbell?
That's Sol
Not
Campbell.
Oh, you know what? Junaid Khalil's got it. He said Costa Rica before we'd even said it, and he said Argentina as well. Fair play. Junaid Khalil also said, so what was said in the Arabic commentary, I was hoping you'd do the translation for me, Junaid, and give it back to me. Joel Campbell, Arsenal legend.
Bidan said that as well.
Yeah, I think he did used to play for Arsenal as well, like in the Wenger sort of down years. I'm sure I've heard that name, Joel Campbell.
I'm just,
before.
well, I'll
Let's have a
give you his
look at the
date of
picture.
birth. He's born in 92, so he must have been 8 in
picture.
Wenger's up years, and maybe about 18 in his down years, potentially. All right, open up to the floor and to Junaid Khalil. Anybody knows who this fella plays for? Duje Kaleta-Kar. Duje Kaleta-Kar.
Oh, he's thingy, isn't he? Serbian. Or is he Croatian? He plays for Marseille and then he went to Southampton now, isn't he?
He plays for Croatia. And this one, Junaid's got it. Junaid's either Googling it or he knows his football better than anyone on this call or on
That's
this
not
station. Junaid, put the Google away, see if you can get this one, mate. This is specifically for Junaid Khalil. Junaid, who does this fella play for? Philippe Coutinho. Philippe Coutinho. And I've got the England badge. He's got me the England badge.
Oh.
Ali, you got me the England badge. Thank you so much. The best thing about these 10 cards is I've got no repeats. But if anybody's listening that wants to play Got Need, I've got a few repeats now. I've got Jack Grealish and I've got Thiago Silva. So,
Swapsies.
yeah, I think you need to get Junaid in the studio in place of Sadat. says Faisal.
Well,
That's a
see-
bit out of order, Faisal.
I'm sorry, but the whole text
Why would
didn't
you
come
say
through.
that?
The whole text didn't come through on my one. It just says in the studio. Full
Oh, is it
stop.
just okay? Just part of it. Right? Fair enough. Okay. Before we go back to the football, something very, very important's come up about the Qatar World Cup. And the Qatar World Cup, basically, they claim to be carbon neutral, but they've got a massive carbon footprint. And me and Rashid, in particular, are very, very disappointed with the Qataris, aren't we, Rashid? He's hung up on me.
Gosh.
No,
Right.
I'm here. So what do you? I mean, Qatar. I mean,
Their carbon footprint, Rashid, their carbon footprint. We were crying about that earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's disappointing, but what can you do? I mean, but then, what would you expect? I mean, people, unless they're not going to be flying in, I mean, they're going to have to throw a whole lot of money in terms of trying to offset it. How? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this works. To be quite frank, I don't know how do you offset.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, look, there's certain criticisms that you can level at Qatar, whatever they are, but this is just pathetic. I mean, was Euro, and I hate all the whataboutery and all this kind of stuff, but like Euro 2020, we just had that tournament where people were literally flying to a different country for each game, fans inconvenienced. And I don't know if it was carbon neutral, but I mean, like, since when has that been an issue?
I think that's a really good point, Bidan, because
another stick to beat Qatar with. And look, it's like as I said to you guys on our WhatsApp group, I'm sick and tired of the whole people, having a go at Qatar, and even some of the people defending Qatar. Like, I just think that now, look, this tournament is happening. Let's just focus on that rather than like going on.
I agree.
On.
Today's result, the Argentina-Saudi result, that to me was just. It's like, in the third round of the FA Cup when you get a non-league side knocking out one of the top big boys.
Kidderminster Harriers.
Right? And you think, why? That's what you want to enjoy. You look at the Saudis going absolutely crazy, yeah? And it's not the Saudis. It's got all people from the Arab world are just all...
Well, I tell you, yeah, Rashid, I'll tell you how I feel about it, and so that you can come in as well and just let me know if you echo this, but Qatar's had so much criticism, and like Bidan said, some of it rightly, you absolutely should call out human rights issues and workers' rights, particularly in building the stadiums. Some of it wrongly, like he says, around the carbon neutrality and so on. I mean, one thing I know, they've got a very small land area, and they've got tram systems connecting stadiums, so actually movement of fans is very energy efficient, so they do have that. So yeah, rightly or wrongly, but the one thing I felt genuinely, and I'm going to say this, is I felt like this is my World Cup. Like, it's a Muslim country, I'm a Muslim, right? And I genuinely feel like this is my World Cup. I feel like I'm more engaged, I'm more enthused, and I know, I mean, Bidan, I don't know how this sounds to you, and definitely come back on it, but I feel like I want Tunisia to win. I want Senegal to win. I want Saudi Arabia to win. I want Qatar to win. I want these teams to win in the World Cup, and it's very different for me. I've not felt like that before. Obviously, I want England to win as well. But I've not felt like that before. What is it like for you, Sadat?
Agreed, absolutely agree. I mean, when Saudi Arabia scored, I was doing my work, had the telly on the background, and Teams call came in from one of my colleagues, and they had just scored. And and he goes, why are you jumping up? I go, my brothers have just scored. I said, my Saudi brothers have just scored. Yeah. And he goes, don't worry, they'll lose. I said, no way. And he goes, you want to bet on it? I said, I would, but I can't.
You're not allowed to. Not allowed to. Bidan, obviously as a non-Muslim, how does that sit with you, just hearing that from what I've just said and what Sadat's just said? Do you understand it? Do you get it? Do you follow it?
That's your prerogative. I mean, I'm not saying I'm particularly offended by it, or I don't particularly. Whatever. I mean, I'm not. Look, I have no feelings about it really.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to say, just change the subject slightly.
Go for it.
Is that through the marvel that is TikTok,
yeah.
I've been hearing that apparently. So they had the World Cup in summer in winter because they said it would be too hot in summer.
Yeah.
Apparently, due to the fact that the stadiums aren't quite full and it's a lower temperature, apparently the stadiums are freezing.
Okay, so
really cold.
As in, is that just what the normal air temperature in the evenings, or have they got the AC on?
They've got the AC on.
They've got the AC on.
Wow.
The AC makes it really cold. People have been going on about, because TikTok broke the fake fans thing first, so I believe TikTok.
TikTok will come with the answers. They'll come with the answers. It looks like we've got a caller on the line. Can we take a caller given the the phone line. Ali, do you want to give me a thumbs up, down?
Yeah, we've taken a caller on before when we had 3.
Let's wait for it to be pushed through before it does, though.
It's on air.
We've got a number of answers from Junaid. Then we're followed by Faisal saying, Junaid, get Junaid in the studio. Ishfaq saying, how come there's no Arif on the show? Good question.
Who?
We need to get Arif back in on the show. Absolutely. I have one for you guys in the studio. What club team does Ronaldo play for? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think he plays for anyone at the moment. And Ishfaq says, with no Arif on the show, now Image is in the top 2 presenters. Congratulations. Yes, silver medal. So absolutely loving that. Do we have a caller on the line? Anybody on the line? Is anybody on the line?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Is that Adil Kareem?
It is indeed. How did you recognise me?
I recognise your voice, mate. Your very distinctive voice. Welcome to Salaam Sports World Cup edition. You are live on air. What do you want to say?
I just want to say 2 things. The first thing is I think Cristiano Ronaldo is going to absolutely smash it at the World Cup.
I really hope he does. I really, really hope he does. So that you hope that too. Obviously, you wish
absolutely.
him the best.
Yeah.
Rashid
He'll be the
Bidan.
leading more goal scorer than anyone in the World Cup. When if he scores, it'll be the 5th World Cup in a row.
I think there's 2 things to this. I think A is the fact that he's got a point to prove, even though he doesn't really have a point.
Well, he's looking for a club, isn't he? That's the other thing.
Yeah. You know what? I think he's already got a club lined up, or he wouldn't have come out and done that interview.
Do you reckon it's Liverpool?
Lined up already? No,
No, because we need.
City.
We could do with if we had Cristiano Ronaldo in the Champions League. We need a player
Did
like
you
that.
hear what the Burnley manager, the ex-Man City captain, said?
Oh yeah, he said we need runners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and the second thing, Adil.
And the second thing is I think Manchester United and their fans are a truly despicable and disgusting set of fans.
All right, so you've got 3 on the call right now, and you've got Ishfaq Ali, who's also texting on the group.
To be honest, and I think the way they've treated Ronaldo, first things first is, who said Ronaldo's on the decline? Where's this myth coming from that Ronaldo's on the decline? I mean, what are his stats saying? He came in to the Premier League, he scored more goals than Harry Kane. That's not somebody I'd call on the decline. Obviously, he's not going to score as many goals as Mo Salah, which is understandable, but he scored more goals.
Look, I mean, okay, so firstly, I'm just going to pause you there, Adil. Firstly, there's a World Cup show, and Ronaldo's yet to kick a ball in the World Cup. Secondly, yeah, you're baiting the United fans on the call. No need for it. Do you want to say anything specific to the World Cup? Do you want to say something about Saudi Arabia? Do you want to talk about France's dominance today? England, yes, on Monday.
I just want to say about the World Cup that I think the Western world's hypocrisy is just despicable to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think we've talked about that yesterday, and we'll continue to call that out. But no, thank you so much, Adil, for calling. Really appreciate the call.
Sorry,
have yourself good.
I had to slate the United fans.
No, we welcome the call. I'm sure even the United fans were grateful too.
We let all sorts come on here.
Nice one, Adil. Thank you, Rashid.
Cheers.
Rashid's just bringing you back in tomorrow. We've got Morocco, Croatia, Germany, Japan, Spain, Costa Rica, and Belgium, Canada. What's the one you're looking forward to most?
I'd say Morocco, Croatia.
That's going to be an exciting one, isn't it? No, seriously, I think it's going to be...
That's
Sorry.
first game. That's 1 p.m. kickoff over there, so it's 10 a.m. here, right?
Okay.
So that basically means it's going to be hot, and the Moroccans going to hack the heat, right? Can the Croatians hack the heat? And secondly, Morocco have got some decent players, and, we've got Ashraf Hakimi, right? Come on, let's see him bombing up and down the flank, and let's see if the Moroccans can do something tomorrow.
Right, there's quite a few little comments.
Bitsy, anyone that you want to... Any game that you're looking forward to tomorrow?
I'm just going to watch as much of all of them.
All of it.
I mean, I reiterate what Shakika says as well. But yeah, look, I'm just open to watching as many games as possible. I'm taking extra days off work because I've still got 13 days of annual leave.
Good lad. Love to hear it. No, I love to hear it. And so that same thing, isn't it? It really hots up when you get into the second round and the quarterfinals. That's when it really gets spicy, doesn't it?
And we've mentioned this yesterday, the amount of extra time they've given as well. We've had an extra, 90 plus minutes of added time.
We're getting lots of football.
Lots of football. It's amazing.
So we absolutely love it. A few more comments I am going to read out because we obviously appreciate everybody who takes the time to comment in. Mohib has said, we lose more games with Ronaldo than without him. I think he's on the decline. Ishvak said, of course he's on the decline. About Ronaldo, obviously.
Yes.
Of course he's on the decline. He used to score 50 plus goals a season. Who is this guy? Has he only started watching football last season? So thank you so much for your comments. We're in the last minute of the show. I just want to finish by saying, genuinely, I'm enjoying this World Cup. I think the quality is there. No issues with a dodgy football that's flying everywhere. No issues with vuvuzelas. There was a little bit of an issue with fans trying to get into the stadium with the tickets and so on. But hopefully
on the first day, that was England's game, wasn't it? Yesterday, yeah.
So hopefully that gets ironed out. But you know what? Mbappe scored one, assisted
France
one.
looking really strong. I was very impressed with France.
Yeah, the superstars are beginning to rise to the top. They're beginning to step up. I think even though Messi didn't play fantastic, he scored his goal, didn't he? Messi did score the penalty.
He scored the penalty,
so join us again. Hopefully we're back on tomorrow. If not, we're definitely on Friday. Thank you. Sorry?
Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi. Got to get that Lionel Messi. We're all out of time, guys. We'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.